हेलो गाइज, आप लोग कैसे हो। मैं जीत प्रताप यादव आप लोगों के लिए नई वीडियो लेके आ गया। आज इस वीडियो में डिस्कस करेंगे ह्यूमन आईज एंड कलरफुल वर्ल्ड। डिस्क्लेमर दे, वीडियो क्या है, एजुकेशनल पर्पज से बनाई गई है। लेट्स स्टार्ट। व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ ह्यूमन आइज? द ह्यूमन आइज इज sensory organ that enable vision by receiving light ray and converting them into electrical signal sent to the brain for interpretation. Question number one. What is the function of the human eyes? The human eyes is sensory organ that enable vision by receiving light ray and converting them into electrical signals sent to the brain for interpretation. Name the main part of the human eyes. Cornea, iris, pupil, crystalline lens, ciliary muscles, retina, optic nerves, and aqueous and vitreous humor. Question number. Name the main parts of the human eyes. Cornea, iris, pupil, crystalline lens, ciliary muscles, retina, optic nerves, and aqueous and vitreous humor. What is the cornea? It is the transparent frontmost part of the eyes that cover the iris and pupil. It acts as a primary lens that reflects bent light entering the eyes. What is the cornea? It is the transparent frontmost part of the eyes that cover the iris and pupil. It acts as a primary lens that reflects bent light entering the eyes. What is the function of the iris? The iris is the colored part of the eye that control the size of pupil and hence the amount of light entering the eyes. Question number 4. What is the function of the iris? The iris is the colored part of the size of pupil and hence the amount of light entering the eyes. Question number 5. What is the pupil? It is the dark circular opening in the center of the iris that allows light to enter the eyes. Its size is regulated by the iris. Question number 6. How does the pupil adjust to bright and dim light? In bright light, the iris contracts the pupil to reduce the amount of light entering. In dim light, the iris expands the pupil to allow more light to enter. Question number 7. What is the crystalline lens? It is a transparent, flexible, biconvex structure located behind the iris. Its function is to fine tune the focus of light onto the retina by changing its shape. Question number 8. What are ciliary muscles? These are the muscles attached to the eye's lens that hold it place. They change the shape and thus the the focal length of the eye's lens to enable focusing on near and distant objects. This process is called accommodation. Question number 9. What is the retina? It is the delicate light sensitive layer at the back of the eyes. It contains photoreceptor cells called rods for dim light and cones for color vision. It acts as a screen where the image is formed. What are rod cells? Rod cells are photoreceptor cells in the retina that are highly sensitive to dim light and are responsible for black and white vision. Question number 11. What are the cone cells? Cone cells are the photoreceptor cells in retina that are sensitive to bright light and are responsible to color vision and sharp detail. Question number 12. What is the function of the optic nerve? The optic nerve carries the electrical signal generated by the photoreceptor cell in retina to the brain for visual interpretation. Question number 13. What is the blind spot? It is the point on retina where the optic nerve leaves the eyes. There are no photoreceptor cells. This spot so in any image formed here is not seen. Question number 40. What is the yellow spot or macula? It is a small central area on the retina that is the responsible for sharp detailed central vision. It contains the maximum concentration of cone cell. Question number 14. What is the yellow spot or macula? It is a small central area on the Retina that is responsible for short detailed central vision. It contains the maximum concentration of the cone cell. Question number 15. What is the aqueous humor? It is watery transparent fluid filled in the space between the cornea and the eyes lens. It provides nourishment to the cornea and lens and maintain the shape of the front part of the eyes. Question number 16. What is the vitreous humor? It is a transparent jelly-like fluid filled with the space between the eyes, lens and retina. It helps maintain the spherical shape of the eyes and transmit light of the retina. Question number 17. Define the term power of accommodation. It is the ability of the eye lens to adjust its focal length by the action of ciliary muscles to clearly focus on the object at varying distance. Question number 17. Define the term power of accommodation. It is the ability of eye's lens to adjust its focal length by the action of the ciliary muscles to clearly focus on the object at varying distance. Question number 18. What is the near point of eye? The near point at which an object can be seen clearly without strain. For a normal young adult eye, it is about 25 centimeter. Question number 18. What is the near point of the eye? The nearest point at which an object can be seen clearly without strain. For a normal young adult eye, it is about 20 centimeter. Question number 19. What is the far point of the eye? The furthest point at which an object can be seen clearly. For a normal eye, it is at infinity. Question number 19. What is the far point of the eye? The furthest point at which an object can be seen clearly. For a normal eye, it is infinity. Question number 20. What is the range of vision for a normal human eye? From 25 centimeter to near point and infinity for far point. Question number 20. And what is myopia? Nearsightedness. It is a defect of vision where a person can see nearby object nearly but cannot see distant object clearly. The image of a distant object is found in front of retina. What is myopia? Nearsightedness. It is the defect of vision where a person can see nearby object clearly but cannot see a distant object clearly. The image of distant object is found in front of retina. Question number 20. What causes myopia? Causes includes excessive curvature of cornea, elongation of eyeball, increase in the power of the eyes lens too much, and converging power. Question number 23. How is myopia corrected? It is corrected by using a concave diverging lens of the appropriate power. This lens diverges the light ray before they enter the eye, enabling the image to be correctly focused on the retina. Question number 24. What is hypermetropia? Farsightedness. It is a defect of vision where a person can see distant object clearly but cannot see nearby object clearly. The image of nearby object is found behind the retina. Question number 25. What causes hypermetropia? Causes include the focal length of the eye lens is too long. The focal length of the eye lens is too long. The eyeball is too short. Decrease in power of eyes lens. Insufficient converging power. Question number 26. How is hypermetropia corrected? It is corrected by using a convex converging lens of appropriate power. The lens converges the light ray before they enter the eyes, helping to focus the image correctly in the retina. Question number 20. What is presbyopia? It is defect of vision that occur in old age where the eye loses its power of recognition. People find it difficult to see both near and distant objects clearly. What is presbyopia? It is a defect of vision that occur in old age where the eye loses its power of recognition. People find it difficult to see both near and distant objects clearly. Question number 20. What causes presbyopia? It is caused by the weakening of the ciliary muscles. It is caused by the weakening of the ciliary muscles and the eye lens becoming less flexible, making it difficult to change its curvature. Question number 29. How is presbyopia corrected? It is corrected by using bifocal lens. These lenses have both concave upper part of the distant vision and convex lower part of the near vision component. Question number 30. What is bifocal lens? Lenses that contain both concave and convex lenses. The upper part is for distant vision, correcting myopia if present, and the lower part is for near vision, correcting presbyopia, hypermetropia. Question number 13. What is astigmatism? What is astigmatism? It is a defect caused by the irregular curvature of the cornea or lens, leading to distorted or blurred vision at all distance. What is astigmatism corrected? It is corrected by using cylindrical lenses. Question number 30. What is cataract? Cataract. It is the condition common in old age, where the eye lens become cloudy or opaque, leading to blurred vision or even blindness. Question number 30. What is cataract treated? How is cataract treated? It is treated by surgical removal of cloudy lens and replacing it with artificial intraocular lens. Question number 35. Why do we have two eyes? Having two eyes provide us the wider field of view about 180 degree and enable depth perception, three-dimensional vision, which help in adjusting distance accurately. Question number 9. Now we move to part 2, the colorful word phenomenon and dispersion. Question number 30 to 6 to 16. Question number 30 is what is the phenomena responsible for the colorful world? The dispersion of white light into its constituent colors. Question number 30 is what is the dispersion of light? The splitting of white light into its seven constituent color behavior when it is passing through a prism. Question number 38. Why does dispersion occur? Dispersion occur because different color wavelength of light have different speed in medium. Dispersion occur in Why does dispersion occur? Dispersion occur because different color wavelength of light have different speed in medium and hence bend by different amount refract when passing through a beam. Violet bend the most, red the least. What is the spectrum? The band of seven color violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red obtained after dispersion of white light. What is the spectrum? The band of seven color violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red obtained after dispersion of white light. Question number 40. Who first used a glass prism to obtain the spectrum of sunlight? Sir Isaac Newton. Question number 41. Why is the color of sky blue? The Earth's atmosphere contains molecules like nitrogen and oxygen and the fine dust which scattered sunlight. Blue light has a shorter wavelength and is scattered much more effectively than red light. This scattered blue light enters our eyes, making the sky appear blue. By the color of sky blue, the Earth's atmosphere contains molecules like nitrogen and oxygen and fine dust which scattered sunlight. Blue light has a shorter wavelength and it is scattered much more effectively than the red light. This scattered blue light entered our eyes, making the sky appear blue. Question number 40. Why the color of the sky blue? The Earth's atmosphere contains molecules like nitrogen and oxygen and fine dust which scattered sunlight. Blue light has a shorter wavelength and is scattered much more effectively than the red light. This scattered blue light entered our eyes, making the sky appear blue. Question number 42. What is Rayleigh scattering? It is the scattering of light by particles much smaller than the wavelength of light. It is the scattering of light by particle much smaller than the wavelength of light. It is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength, scattering proportional to 1 upon lambda power 4. This is why blue light shorter lambda scattered more. Rayleigh's scattering. It is scattering of light by particle much smaller than the wavelength of light. It is inversely proportional to the fourth power of the wavelength. Why does sun appear reddish during sun and rise and sunset? Sun at the sunrise and sunset, sun sun has to travel a longer distance through the atmosphere. Most of the blue light and shorter wavelength are scattered away by the time it reaches our eyes. The less scattered light, red and orange, reaches us, making the sun appear reddish. Question number 4. Why does the sun appear reddish during sunrise and sunset? At sunrise and sunset, sunlight has traveled to longer distance through the atmosphere. Most of the blue light and shorter wavelength are scattered away by the time it reaches us our eyes. The less scattered light, red and orange, reaches us, making the sun appear to reddish. Question number 44. Why do cloud appear white? The water droplets in cloud are much larger than that the wavelength of light. They scatter the all color of the light equally, a process called my scattering. Each combination to form white light. Water droplets in the cloud are much larger than the wavelength of light. They scatter of all the color of light equally, which combine to form white light. What is Tyndall effect? The phenomenon of scattering of light by colloidal particle in translucent medium. Example, beam of sunlight become visible when it passes through a canopy of a dense forest or through a colloidal solution. What is the Tyndall effect? The phenomenon of scattering of light by colloidal particle in a translucent medium. Example, beam of sunlight become visible when it passes through a canopy in a dense forest or through a colloidal solution. Question number 46. How is the Tyndall effect different from scattering? Scattering is a general term. The Tyndall effect is a specific type of scattering caused by the colloidal particle. What is a rainbow? A rainbow is a natural spectrum caused by the dispersion or refraction and internal reflection of sunlight by tiny water droplets present in the atmosphere after a rain shower. What is rain? How is rainbow formed? Sunlight enter a raindrop, refract, disperse into the color, reflect internally off the back of the drop and refract again as it exists. This process sends the different color to an observer's eyes at different angle. Question number 49. Under what condition it rainbow formed? A rainbow is formed when the sun is behind the observer and there are water droplets like after rain in the sky in front of the observer. Why is rainbow always arc shaped? The rainbow is arc shaped because the set of all the raindrops that reflect and refract light toward the observer at a specific angle, about 42 degrees for a primary rainbow, lie on the surface of the cone with the observer at the apex. Question number 51. What is the order of color in primary rainbow? What is the order of color in primary rainbow from the outer edge of inner edge? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Question number 52. What is a secondary rainbow? It is the fainter rainbow that can sometimes be seen outside the primary rainbow. It is formed by two internal reflections inside the water droplet, which reverses the color under violet on the outside, red on the inside. Now move to part 3, atmospheric refraction and scattering, question 53 to 75. Question number 53. What is the atmospheric refraction? The refraction bending of light by different layer of the earth atmosphere which have varying optical density. Question number 50. Why do stars twinkle? Light undergo continuous refraction as it passes through layer of atmosphere of varying density and temperature. This causes the apparent position of the star to flicker and the intensity to vary, making it twinkle. Question number 50. Why don't planets twinkle as brightly as stars? Planets are much closer to Earth and appear as tiny disks, not point source. The light from different points on this aver- averages out the variation in refraction, reducing the twinkling effect. Question number 56. Why does the sun appear flattened at the sunrise and sunset? Due to the atmospheric refraction, the light from the lower part of the sun, which is just below the horizon, is refracted upward, making the sun appear higher than its actual position. This effect is greater for lower part, causing an oval flattened appearance. Question number 57. What is the advanced sunrise and delayed sunset? Due to the atmospheric refraction, we can see the sun about 2 minutes before the actual sunrise and for about 2 minutes after the actual sunset. This makes the day longer by about 4 minutes. 58. Explain the advanced sunrise. Sun is actually below the horizon at sunrise, but its light is reflected by the atmosphere, bending it toward the normal. They allow us to see the sun before it has actually risen above the horizon. Now, question number 59. Explain the delayed sunset. Similarly, after the sun has set below the horizon, its light is still refracted toward us, allowing us to see it for a few minutes after the actual sunset. Question number 60. Why is the color of water in the deep sea blue? Water molecule absorb light in the red part of the spectrum and scatter the blue light, making the ocean appear blues. Water molecule absorb light in the red part of the spectrum and scatter the blue light, making the ocean appear blue. Question number 61. Why do danger signalers and sign use red color? Red light has longest wavelength and scatter the least by the air molecule, fog or smoke. This allow it to travel longer distance and to be visible from far away, making it ideal for danger signal. What is the difference between the refraction and dispersion? Refraction is the bending of light when it passes from one medium to another medium. Dispersion is a special case of refraction where different color bend by different amount, causing the splitting of white light. What is now question number 63? What is prism? A prism is a transparent optical element with flat polished surface that reflect light. The traditional shape is a triangular prism which can disperse light. Question number 64. Define the angle of deviation in a prism. The angle between the incident ray and the emergent ray from the prism. Question number 65. Which color deviate the most when white light passes through the prism? Violet color. Question number 66. Which color deviate the least when the white light passes through a prism? Red color. Question number 67. Why is the path of ray of light reversible? This is a principle of optics. If a light ray follow a certain path from A to B, it will follow the exact same path if it travel from B to A. Question number 68. What is the monochromatic light? Light of a single color, that is light having a single wavelength. Example, sodium vapor lamp emit yellow monochromatic light. Question number 69. What is the polychromatic light? Light consisting of multiple color of wavelength. Example, white light. Question number 70. How can you combine the color of the spectrum to form a white light. By using a second identical prism placed in a inverted position relative to the first one. The second prism recombines the dispersed color back into the white light. Question number 71. What would happen if the glass slab is used instead of prism? A glass slab has two parallel surfaces. The light refract at the first surface and then refract back at the second surface, resulting in a lateral shift but no dispersion. The emergent beam is a white light. What is diamond more brilliant than glass? Diamond has very high refractive index, which causes a large amount of total internal reflection and dispersion fire, make it sparkle brilliantly. Question number 20. What is the critical angle for a diamond? The critical angle of diamond is very small, about 24.4 degree, which make the total internal reflection very likely trapping light inside and making it sparkles. What is the function of iris and pupil comparable to in a camera? Iris is like the diaphragm of camera, control light amount, and the pupil like the aperture, the opening. What is the function of retina comparable to in a camera? The retina is like a camera from film or image sensor. Now move to part 4. Question was, why do astronauts in space see a dark sky instead of a blue one? In space, there is no atmosphere to scatter the sunlight. Therefore, no scattered light reaches the astronaut eyes, and the sky appears dark black. Question number 77. What is the color of the sun from space? It appears white because there is no atmosphere to scatter its light. Question number 78. How does the eye lens differ from a simple glass lens? The eye lens is living flexible structure whose focal length can be changed, whereas glass lens has a fixed focal length. Question number 79. What is the persistence of vision? It is the ability of eye to retain an image for about 1 by 16th of the second after the object is removed. This principle is used in motion picture. Question number 80. Why do we see a flicker in tube light sometime? It is due to the persistence of vision and the fact that AC current change direction causing the light intensity to fluctuate rapidly. Question number 18. What is the least distance of distinct vision? It is the minimum distance at which an object can be seen clearly without strain for normal eyes. It is 25 centimeters. Question number 82. A person cannot see object beyond 1.2 meter. What is the defect and its correction? The far point is 1.2 meter instead of infinity. This is myopia. It is corrected using concave lens. Now question number 83. A person cannot see object clearly beyond 1 meter. What is the power of the lens required to correct this? For the far point is 1 meter. For a myopic eye, the corrective lens should be form an image at the far point 1 meter for an object infinity. So U is equal to infinity, V equal to minus 1 meter using their lens formula 1 upon F 1 upon V minus 1 upon E equal to 1 upon 1 minus 1 upon infinity equal to minus 1 plus 0. So F equal to minus 1 meter. Power of V equal to 1 upon F in meter, 1 upon minus 1 minus 1D. A concave lens of power 1D is needed. Question number 84. What happened to the image distance in the eyes when the increase the distance of an object from the eyes? The image distance remains constant as the distance between the lens and the retina is fixed. To focus, the ciliary muscles adjust the focal length of the eye's lens. Question number 85. Why is the primary rainbow brighter than the secondary rainbow? The secondary rainbow involves two internal reflections inside the water droplet, which result in more light loss and fainter image. Question number 86. What is the angle of view for a primary rainbow? About 42 degree from the line opposite the sun. Question number 87. What is the angle of view of the secondary rainbow? About 51 degree from the opposite of the sun. What is glory? It is an optical phenomenon resembling a rainbow seen as a concentric ring of color around the shadow of an observer head caught into the cloud or fog. Question number 89. Why are the optical fiber based on the phenomenon of total internal reflection? Total internal reflection allows light to be trapped and transmitted through a thin glass fiber with very little loss of intensity over long distance. Question number 90. How does a prism binocular work? It uses a pair of prism in each tube. The prism uses total internal reflection to erect the inverted image and shorten the physical length of the instrument. Question number 90. What is the causes of the blue haze seen over the many mountains? It is caused by the scattering of blue light by tiny hydrocarbons particles released by the tree in the forest covering the mountain. Question number 92. Why does a person suffering from hypermetropia need to be hold a book at arm length to read? Because the light ray from the books are focusing behind the retina. Holding the book further away help the light ray become to more parallel, making it slightly easier for the weakened lens to focus them on retina. Question number 93. What is night blindness? It is a condition where a person has difficulty seeing in a dim light, often due to the deficiency of vitamin A, which is essential for the proper functioning of the rod cell. Question number 90. What is the color blindness? It is a genetic defect where a person cannot distinguish between a certain color, most commonly red and green, due to the malfunctioning of absence of the certain type of the cone cell. Why does the moon appear white? The moon surface reflects sunlight in the dark sky. This reflected light is bright enough to activate all the three types of cone cell in our retina almost equally, making it appear white. Question number 96. What is the Big Bear acronym for? It stands for colors of the visible light spectrum: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Question number 90. Can you see a rainbow on the sunny day without rain? Yes. If there is a source of water droplet in air, such as near waterfall or fountain, with the sun behind the observer. Question number 19. What is a mirage? A mirage is an optical illusion caused by the refraction of light in a layer of air different density. It often creates the appearance of water on a hot road or in a desert. Question number 99. How is mirage formed? On a hot day, the air near the ground is hotter and less, less dense than the air above. Light from the sky travel downwards and refract through these layers, bending upward. Our brain interprets this light as coming from the ground, creating the illusion of the pool of water. Question number 100. What is the difference between a rainbow and a mirage? A rainbow is caused by dispersion, refraction, and reflection of light of water droplet. A mirage is caused by the refraction of light due to the varying air condensity, creating an illusion. I hope this detailed list helped you master the chapter, The Human Eyes and Colorful World. Best of luck with your study. जय हिंद जय भारत.